This father and son duo came from North Carolina to see tonight's game. Diego is a Warrior fan. Dad, not so much.
We're getting along so far because everything's going my way. Too big, too strong. Really need the crowd behind us. That's why I'm here, to give us that extra boost and get us over the hump. Take total control tonight.
We're coming back tonight. We're going to tie it up 2-2, go back to Golden State, then 3-2, and then we're going to control the series.
This is former Chicago Bear Desmond Clark. And y'all hear me on many podcasts, but when y'all hear me on Pick'em Pros, y'all know it's all about family. This ain't just business.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You know who it is. I am Derrick Thompson.
And I'm Diego Thompson.
And who are we, my man?
The Pick'em Pros.
We are the Pick'em Pros coming back at you in the house with a special episode of Who You Got. Father-son dynamic duo, man, where we have fun. We pick games, talk junk, give away money to various causes, and just enjoy sports. It's a family fun sports show, and tonight is a huge example of that, as we were on opposite sides of a big game tonight, which we'll get into here, but we'll get into it in a minute. First of all, man, how you doing, my son?
Not doing so good right now.
What's wrong, man? Talk to me.
I'm a Duke fan, so that's why I'm not doing so good right now.
Yep. Oh man, that was rough for you, man. Well, we will get into that. I know we've got some folks that have been waiting, chomping at the bit for this one, so I'm sure we'll have lots of comments as we go at it. So yeah, see the comments coming in already. So we're gonna have a lot of fun here, man. But let's get into it. But man, where's Kirby? Where's the support dog?
I don't need Kirby, man. I don't need Kirby, man.
Okay, no support dog. You're gonna take this one on your own. All right. Yeah. Well, we've got an action-packed show here, as you can see with the new layout. We're showing you the topics that we're on, topics upcoming, so you can kind of keep up with that. We also have a swag item that we're giving away. So we're giving away a piece of swag every week now. So on Fridays through Instagram, we announce what we're giving away. This week it's a hat. Hey, next week may be shirt, hoodie, you never know. So you want to enter every week so you can have a chance to get some of our free swag, and our full store will be launching on April 1st. All right, but we'll get into that. We'll save that for the end. Okay. All right. Well, hey, man, let's get into it. Let me go here. And again, we'll pull up a comment there. Yes, UNC on top. UNC on top. My man. Thanks for support. My man's been waiting for the last hour. We were going back and forth waiting for the show here. All right. So, Diego, man, go ahead and give us your take, man. What happened? You seem pretty confident that Duke was going to pull it out. I was very confident that Carolina was going to win this game, just based on last game and how they've been playing. I know they were both top 10 teams, but again, it was picks for me. It wasn't personal, it was picks. I like Duke a lot, but I just did not see them winning this game at all. But give it your take, man. What happened?
Yeah, well, I was really confident they were gonna win, but I don't really think they won mostly like they won in the first game, because I think we contained Baycott for a lot of game. Baycott didn't really dominate like he did in the first game.
Okay.
Cormac Ryan really died. He had like 31 points. We couldn't stop him. We contained RJ Davis a little bit. He got a couple buckets, but we contained their 2 stars, but just we couldn't stop him. And Harris Ingram had a good game too for them, but I don't know, man. We never led for a second of the game. We cut it down to 1 about 5 minutes into the second, but then they went on a run and then never got past like 3. So we just couldn't get over the hump, and we lost to them twice this year. So
man. So UNC Carolina, they are the regular season champs here, so they'll be hanging a banner for that. And then we'll go into I don't know. I think it's going to probably be the same story as we go into the ACC tournament, but we'll actually touch on that. Let's touch on that for a little bit. And for as far as the comments, keep those coming. We will address comments per each segment as we finish each segment. So definitely throw those in. And if you have any questions for us at any time, throw those in as well. But yeah, man, this game, again, I was very confident just with the style of play. It's just Carolina is not a good matchup for Duke. The guards are too quick. Duke's guards are kind of heavy-footed to me.
Their guards aren't that quick though. They were just making threes.
Well,
our guards could get to the cup too. You didn't watch the whole game, so you didn't see. So you didn't see when our guards were.
I did. I had it right here on my tab as I was preparing our slides for the show. I had the game right here. So
our guards were making plays.
Jeremy
Kane was making plays. Jeremy Roach was making more plays in the second half. He wasn't that good in the first half. And Proctor was pretty good for the whole game, but we just had some turnovers and stuff like that. That was messing up for us.
Okay. All right. Hey, shout out to Aaron. Aaron said Duke lost today because of missed shots, turnovers, but props to Jared McCain. He had a heck of a game. Him and Kyle Flipowski, but Carolina was too good. They outplayed Duke. They had too many playmakers. So that was a comment from Aaron on IG on my other screen here. But
you want to know a stat?
Go ahead.
Cormac Ryan is 25 years old.
And I know that's a sore subject for you. I know that's a sore, but that kind of goes to my argument. So first, let me go back to the guard thing. Okay. So now Carolina has one guard that is lightning quick, but regardless of if you think their guards are fast or not, the Carolina guards are blowing by Duke no matter what. So it was only Carolina got into the lane whenever they wanted to. They got into the lane whenever they wanted to.
It was only Elliot Cadello that was driving past people. Jeremy Roach and Jared McCain could get past people too. They were doing it throughout the game.
They got whatever they want. It reminded me a lot of the Boston Celtic Denver game where Carolina clearly had plays they were running. They were getting easy shots and Duke was taking tough shots. It was very, very similar to that. And even when Duke made their run, Carolina was never in trouble because they were getting whatever they wanted out there. So they totally had control of the game. Even when Duke cut it to 1, they just had control of it. So it's just a bad matchup. I mean, Duke is a top 10 team. Duke, depending on the matchups that they get, heck, Duke could win the ACC tournament because UNC doesn't match up well with some of the other teams in the ACC. So somebody might knock Carolina out and Duke could easily win the ACC tournament. And then in the NCAA tournament, the same thing can happen as far as matchups. So Carolina is just a bad matchup for Duke. They just don't match up well with them. Just like there are other teams that are really bad matchups for Carolina. So I think that's the key there.
And have to adjust just in case we see them again.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know what you can do. I mean, so what? So is there any? Are there any adjustments?
They're beatable. It's not like they're not beatable. They're not that good of a team. Like we can beat them, but we just have to. I don't know. We just haven't figured out the sauce yet to beat this particular team.
Yeah, again, I just think they have, they've got Baycock, they've got the other guy that's 25. They have a lot of seasoned people. Yes, is Carolina the best team in college basketball? No, they're not. But it's about the matchup. I think just that matchup is awful for Duke. That's just not a good matchup. the way that they match up. But looking at some of the questions and comments on Instagram, got a lot of junk talking. This all good. Thoughts on officiating by Kip. Diego, what's your thoughts on the officiating of the game tonight?
The officiating, they probably should have called a foul on Filipowski later in the game, but
Okay.
he had 4 fouls, so they didn't want to kick him out in the last last few
Yeah.
minutes. So
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
but
That's a good point.
I don't think the officiating was fine. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
we just played bad.
Yeah.
We just didn't play our best.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
And we were so nervous for like the first half. Like it was like we were losing the ball and everything. Like we couldn't even. Yeah.
Got off to a bad start for sure. So well, I do have to show now. Had to prepare a lot of this in advance. He didn't take over the game as much, but again, your boy Baycock did make an appearance.
He did nothing, man. Filipowski and all them were locking him up. He didn't do anything. That was all Cormac Ryan.
Okay, all Cormac Ryan. And he played out of his mind.
He made he was like 6 of 8 for 3.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the fellas at the barbershop all said hello. So they sent a text because they all big Carolina this morning. All right. So keep the comments going. And Kip said, well said. He agrees with you, Diego, on the officiating. So yeah.
Congratulations, Kip, for winning the regular season ACC. we'll get you back.
All right. We're gonna see. All right. So switching gears here, let's go into just again staying with March Madness and college basketball. We'll stay with college basketball, but we'll move off of the Duke UNC game. But keep your comments coming and any questions that you have. Want to plug again our bracket challenge. So if you want to sign up for our bracket challenge, we are giving away a pair of kicks up to $300 value, so you can get some really, really nice shoes. It's free. Just join in, and the winner will get the grand prize. We have an Instagram post going out tomorrow, and all you'll have to do is in the comments type hoop, and you'll get the link to where you can sign up. You can also sign up right now if you go to our website, thepickempros.com. If you go to thepickempros.com, there's a red banner at the top that says click here to sign up for a tournament. You just click on that, you sign up for the tournament, and you'll be all set. Again, you can't make your picks until the tournament starts, but you can go ahead and get your account created because we have our own custom setup through another platform. So we're not going with ESPN. We want to have a little more control over everything. So we're going with a custom platform for the men's bracket challenge. All right. So make sure you sign up for that because we want to have as many. We want to make it a good competition. All right. So let's go to the men's tourney here, just as a preview. We touched on this a little bit last week, but we've had a lot happen between last week and this week. We've had a lot of great games. My guys, H-Town, they blew Kansas out. They were looking really good today with that.
Yeah, well, Hunter Dickinson actually got injured in the second quarter. He dislocated his shoulder, so
that's okay.
It wasn't really fully like a full win, fully caliber win.
Okay.
You might have to take some of that credit off,
No, I don't take any of that credit off. We held them to 5 points in the first 10 minutes of the game. That was just absolutely nasty, absolutely ridiculous. I see more and more people filing in on IG, so make sure y'all stay and see who the swag winner is, because we know a lot of you you follow the steps on IG, so we want to see who wins. Kip said, hey, who knows? Maybe they'll meet up again, just like UNC retired Coach K in March Madness. Yeah, that's true. They might. And Iowa State upset. Ooh, no, I did not know that. All right.
Yeah, they did.
So based on what you're seeing so far, Diego, who do you think? Who would you pick right now to win the NCAA tournament?
Duke? No, definitely not going with Duke. We are not ready for all that right now. But You guys actually proved me that I think Houston's the clear favorite right now. Actually, I think they're their defense, they're shutting people down. They're getting really good road wins and just good wins in the last few weeks of the season, and their offense has stepped up from years past. So I think they're the favorite right now with UConn behind them.
Yeah, man, they're looking good, man. They're so fun to watch. The way they play defense, the way they get up in your chest and play, man, and the way they rebound, just all of that. Oh man, they're must see for me. Whenever Houston's on, I have to watch them. So I've really come to enjoy watching them over the years. I picked them the last 2 years, so clearly I was not correct about that, but we'll see. Hopefully the third year will be the charm. Is if they can make it happen. What up, Jack C? I see you joined us on IG. Welcome, my man. Welcome. All right. So, and put in the comments who you think's going to win the March Madness. Who's going to win? And make sure you sign up for our bracket challenge, giving away a pair of kicks up to $300. So make sure you do that. So South Carolina women, man, they won an amazing game today. So they made a 3 at the buzzer. They were down. They were down by 2 with 1.1 seconds left. They were 30-0, and they were playing Tennessee in the SEC semifinal game, and they made a 3 at the buzzer, and just absolutely amazing. But then you've got Iowa on the other side, right? Yeah. And they're just breezing through the Big Ten right now. So they will probably win the Big Ten championship tomorrow. Going to be some great games because you have Iowa, so that's must-see TV with Caitlin. But then we also have most likely, let me look at the score. Yeah, LSU is up. Yeah, LSU is about to win. They're about to be Ole Miss right now. So LSU plays South Carolina for the women SEC championship game. So that's must-see. So y'all tune in, support, check that out. That's going to be good. South Carolina's undefeated. LSU's the national champ from last year, defending champ. That's going to be a great game. I definitely want to see that.
Yeah, well, they're probably the favorite. They're the favorite for me to win the women's bracket. South Carolina, they're undefeated. They had a good win today with the buzzer beater. So yeah, definitely sticking with them. But Iowa has a shot with Caitlin. So
they do.
Don't sleep on them.
No, you cannot sleep on them at all. And we're going to figure out. We've got to do something for the women's tournament. The software platform that we're using, runyourpool.com, they don't have a women's bracket right now. So we're going to do something. We'll probably wait till maybe the semifinal, final, have some type of pick 'em raffle or something, but we'll do something around the women's tournament once it gets towards the end. Because we know everybody's going to pick either South Carolina, Iowa, whatever. But when we get to the end, we'll do something there. So we're definitely going to represent for the women for sure. So we definitely have to do that. Let's see. And then we've got Paul. Thank you for your comment here. What's your lock or your question? What's your lock for Final Four in the women's? Oh my goodness. I would say it's funny. If I had to pick one team that's a lock, I would say Iowa, even over South Carolina. Now, I'm picking South Carolina to probably win it. But if one of them would get upset early, I think it would probably be South Carolina. I mean, we saw today they made a 3 at the buzzer, they almost lost the day to Tennessee.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my logic there. What do you think about that? Who would be, if you had to pick one team as a lock for the women's Final Four, who would it be, Diego?
I would say South Carolina. I just don't think they can lose right now with how well they're playing. So yeah. Just with them, I think they're too disciplined, like lose the game in a tournament.
Okay, cool. Stick with them. All right. I like that. And hey, Silas, you have to tell us, what does the 279 mean? Is that part of your handle? You got to tell us what that means. I'm not sure. I know you're in Canada, but you have to tell us what that means. So break that down. Break that down for me. So I don't want to miss the meaning of that. We have a question from Kip. Thoughts on Caitlin Clark going to the WNBA? Oh, this is a great question. I definitely want to talk about this. Thoughts on Caitlin Clark going to the WNBA? Was it the right choice, or do we think that she should have stayed another year in college with NIL? You know what I'm going to say, because you and I, we've talked about this before. So, but go ahead and give your take, and then you know what I'm going to say.
Well, I think she'd be more popular, and with the NIL staying in college, because that's
Mhm.
like some big action going on right now. But in WNBA is a next step, be challenged a little
Right.
bit more. So
Right.
if she wants to be challenged, and she can do that. So I
Mhm.
don't have a problem with it. But yeah,
Yeah, and that seems to be the consensus that she's looking for a bigger challenge, and that's
Mhm.
part of the reason why she's going. However, from money standpoint, you can argue that she can definitely make the same, if not more, by staying in college. And we
yeah,
know how much the women's college game has grown over these last few years.
yeah.
So she's done so much for the sport. It's been great to see. I prefer to watch. There's more teams in women's college that I like watching than I do the men right now. For the men, the only team that's must see TV to me is Houston. But for the women, I want to see South Carolina whenever they play. I want to see Iowa whenever they play. I want to see LSU. So I love what's happening with the women's game. But let me make my one point before I give it back to you. And yes, she should be going to Indy because I think they have the number 1 pick, Paul. So yes, she should be going to Indy. But I think the reason why she's staying, I think she's staying because she doesn't want to taint the records. Because she's already been there 4 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody fact check me on this, but I
Yes,
believe she's been there 4 years, right?
yep.
And she just broke Pistol Pete's record. I don't think she wants to stay another year because of the COVID rule and then have an asterisk by all of the records that she has. So I think
Mhm.
that's why she's leaving. And
Yeah,
I
that makes
agree
sense.
that that's the right decision.
Yeah, yeah, because then no one's gonna be able to reach the records because there'll be
Right.
no, well, at least we hope there'll be no like COVID year type thing ever
Mhm.
again. So
Yeah.
they'll just be unreachable and
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So
and
I
asterisk
think
like you said.
that's right. I think that's why she's doing it. And I commend her for that because she can be selfish and say, well, hey, I'm gonna, put the records way, way out of reach. Shout out to Aaron. Yes, we sound a lot different today. We should sound better. Because Aaron, my man, you hooked us up. Aaron is of TNT Creative Group, our company. He is the man, all things video, all things audio. And he got us all set up with the right equipment so we could actually use our Pick 'em Pros mics. So back in the day, we would only use these mics if we were out, at Zaxby's or filming somewhere. But now we can use these on the reg because we've got all the soundboards and all the right equipment. So shout out to Aaron for making us sound good, my man. All right. So yes, great question, Kip. Love that because we were actually talking about that earlier and did not get to mention that. So thank you. All right. So let's go on. Let's see. South Carolina, will they go undefeated? Who will win the women's NCAA tournament? We already kind of touched on that. So let's move on to the fight. Man. I can't wait to talk about this. And I know we should get some comments on this one. And I'm actually surprised because we put this out earlier today as a short and a reel, and there's been comments on it, and I'm surprised on what I'm seeing by it because there definitely seems to be a big consensus. Yeah, as I'm seeing here. So Diego, break down. Why don't you kick us off, man? Who you got? For Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. I can't wait for this. We might have to try to
Yo,
get down
well,
there for this one.
yo, I got Jake Paul winning this fight, and I'm pretty confident in it because Tyson's gonna be very dangerous in the first or second round because he's got
Mhm.
his famous knockout power, but
Mhm.
he is 57 years old, so he might get kind of tired if he doesn't get Jake Paul. And
Right.
Jake Paul's 27, he's in really good shape and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
and he does have knockout power too. If you've seen him
Yes.
fight, he's knocked a lot of people out. So,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
if he can get past the first, second round without him Tyson getting a shot on him, then I think he wins, like
Yeah.
no doubt, 100%. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty confident in this one.
Okay, so you're confident that Jake Paul
Yeah,
wins.
yeah.
And we're gonna get to I love the comments here, so we're gonna get to all of these here. I, at least as of today, we'll see as we get right before the fight, but I'll probably stick with it. I'm going Tyson, but I'm not saying it with my chest at all. Because of the conditioning. Yeah, Tyson looks great right now. And he's 57 years old. But heck, when Tyson was in his prime, he wasn't somebody that was going to, do well late in bouts. So he's gonna have a lot of energy. He's gonna come out fast. But Jake Paul, like you said, has knockout power. He's knocked out some, big, MMA dudes. So he's a strong dude.
Yeah, it's really strong.
Yeah. So, Tyson knows the science of boxing. Tyson's a real boxer. Jake Paul hasn't fought, many folks that can actually fight. But Mike Tyson, is bad as he is, where there was no bigger Mike Tyson fan than me coming up. But dude, he's 57 years old. You know what I mean? And on top of that, we saw him a couple years ago against Roy Jones Jr. And after like the second round, it was just a hug fest. They were both out of breath, huffing and puffing, and he looked great then. So yeah, Tyson.
Yeah, it's like because a boxing match is like even like a round, it's like 3 minutes just jumping around, punching, like throwing your arms. That's a lot of
man.
Tough.
So let's go ahead.
Yeah, and Jake Paul, I think he's really committed to boxing, so he's
he is for sure. So we've got Kip said Tyson all the way, which that seems to be the consensus. Everything I'm seeing, I haven't seen one person outside of you, Diego, that said Jake Paul is gonna win. Okay. So we'll see. But yeah, Kip said Tyson all the way. Silas, Tyson gonna beat Paul, but I'm worried it's gonna be fixed. And Paul wins a garbage decision because it's fixed. And hey, we know with boxing, we know there can always be some funny business going on. So I get that for sure. Aaron says, is the fight going to be is it going to be a real fight or an exhibition? From what I'm hearing, Aaron, I think they're going to try to make it a real fight, but I don't know if it's going to be sanctioned. I know that there was another fighter who is about Mike Tyson's age that did not get approved by the boxing authority in whatever state they were fighting. So they may have some trouble. Now they're fighting in Texas. They're fighting in Dallas. That might be one of the reasons why they're fighting there, because anything kind of goes in Texas in some ways. So if he could get approved anywhere in the United States, it's Texas or Florida. You got to make it happen. So we'll see what happens there with that. And is it a real fight? If it's a real fight, Tyson in the first minute, yeah. And that's what I'm going with. I'm hoping it'll be a real fight. And if it is, Tyson will probably catch him early. But again, he better, because if he doesn't, then oh man, it could be problems. And yes, TNT team building trip to Dallas. Yeah, Aaron, we might have to take a trip, man. We normally take a summer trip up there anyway. The fight is July 20th at AT&T Stadium, Cowboy Stadium. So, and it's on Netflix, which is crazy. So everybody's going to see this fight. So I'm very curious on how much they're going to make. Jordan Ellis, you thinking Tyson on this one? Yep. Yeah. A lot of that's the consensus. Like I said, you're the only one that said Jake, which that actually makes me nervous, because the few times when like you're the only person picking somebody, kind of like last year with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, you typically prevail. So we'll see on that one.
Let's see how it is.
Yeah. But yeah, this is one I never got to see Tyson fight. What matter of fact, I've just been to local fights. So I've never been to like a big time pro fight. And again, growing up, seeing the Tyson fights, I always wanted to go and see him. So this would be cool to try to get out there and see him. And again, Tyson, a man's 57 years old. So can he do it at this advanced age? I don't know. All right. Well, let's transition on to the Celtics and a little bit of NBA action before we have our swag giveaway. Again, thanks for joining us a little later. We wanted to move our time to 9 p.m. so we can go live after the Duke Carolina game. So thanks for hanging out with us a little bit here. So let's move on to the NBA. So, man, there was a huge matchup between the Boston Celtics and the Denver Nuggets this week. Primetime game, TNT. Denver, again, the defending champions from last year, Boston's the team that's knocking on the door, has not gotten over the hump. And Denver won, I believe, by 2 points in Boston earlier this year. And now they had the rematch in Denver, and both teams played everybody. I know that Jaylen Brown was on the injured list and may have even been listed as doubtful, but he ended up playing. Both teams were at full strength, and Denver pulled it out in a close one, although they had a big lead in the second half of the game. What's your take on Boston, man? Can they beat Denver, or is Denver just a bad matchup for them?
Yeah, I think they can. I think they can definitely beat. They can definitely beat Denver. This last game it was in Denver. That's a really hard place to play.
Yeah.
And they were really trying to show that they could definitely beat Boston. That they're still a team to beat since they won the championship last year. But and they did win way earlier in the season in Boston. But teams have changed since way earlier in the season, and I think if they play a 7-game playoff series, no one can beat Boston 4 times in a series because I think they're just too talented to lose to these teams, even though they're not as, organized or probably better, know how to win like Denver does. So.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us in the comments, can Boston beat Denver? I think everybody has Boston going to the NBA Finals, probably except Jack C. I think he might be the only person that does not have Boston going to the finals. I'm sure he may have Philly's finest. And Jack, tell us in the comments, man, is Embiid coming back? What's going on with him? You're our Philadelphia insider, so I'm about to have you back on the show, man, to give us the latest and greatest there. Tell us what your sources are telling you. But yeah, man, again, I have totally fallen in love with Boston over the last few years. I picked them the last 2 years. And it was a little early on Boston, but I do not like what I'm seeing. I love the offseason moves. I love Holiday being there, Porzingis, all of that. But they still just take awful shots. And Denver's the total opposite. Denver always takes great shots. There's only one. You have Luka, who is probably going to be MVP again of the year, be 3-time MVP. The best player in the league. And then there's not even another, although they have great players on the team, there's not even another all-star on Denver right now. But they play so well and have such a great system that they just get great shots every time. And Boston comes down, they take way too many threes, and then half of those are step back threes, guarded, falling out of bounds. So
playing AAU ball.
Right, exactly. So I mean, will Boston? So do you think they're going to fix it? Are they just kind of Kansas City chiefing it and playing a different style of offense in the regular season and playing ISO ball, and in the playoffs they're going to play the way that the way that they need to?
Possibly. I mean, I don't know if they have the chemistry and all that to be able to do that just yet, because the Chiefs have been together for like 5-6 years. So they can pull stuff from Patrick Mahomes' rookie year, and Travis Kelce's still there. Like they still have the core pieces that were there for so long. But Boston, Porzingis and Drew Holiday just come in, and the coach is in his second year. So I think they might be able to flip a switch and be able to play more together, but I don't think they can just be like pulling out just a whole new offense. But
but you still think that Boston is so talented that they're going to find a way to beat Denver in the NBA Finals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
all right. Okay, we'll see. Well, hey, man, that will be. I mean, we clearly from the 2 games that they played in the regular season, that's clearly going to be an amazing series. Because
they were supposed to get it last year, but the Celtics they didn't get there. They almost did. It was the 7.
The Heat culture messed that up. So
and they ended up getting gentlemen swept by the. And the only reason it was a gentleman sweep was because Nuggets wanted to win at home.
Yeah, they did. And hey, I would not count Miami out this year, especially by them getting your guy Terry Rozier. I wouldn't count Miami out.
I think
Spoelstra's gonna have a great game plan, and Miami's gonna play well in the playoffs.
Yeah, I just think this time they're just purely too talented
Okay.
to not at least get to the NBA Finals.
I hope
They're gonna have to play somewhat more team basketball to beat the Nuggets, but
I hope
to
so.
beat the Heat, I just think they're too good.
I
We
hope
even
so.
saw this when they played a couple times in the regular season so far. So
Yeah. Boston has played very well against them in the regular season against Miami.
and they're gonna have revenge on their minds. So
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And they will have revenge. Now that's a great point. They will have revenge. So they will see. Oh, they'll have blood in their eyes going against Miami, just like
it'll
how
be
they
like
did
when they
the Warriors.
like just like that. That was bad.
And y'all, hey, you know what? We should have recorded that because you can vouch for me. I told you. I said Boston was going to beat the Warriors. I said by 60 that weekend. I was off a little bit. They beat them by 52. I was a little off.
I knew the Celtics were going to win, but I was like, just don't get blown out. Just keep it like within 20.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. They did. Right on cue. They did. So let's get to some of the comments here and in questions. So Jordan Ellis said, that's what I'm saying. Denver really takes great shots. Yes, that's the whole key to Denver. And there's no other team. Every team in the NBA takes bad shots. Like it's almost. That's why I honestly can't really watch full NBA games during the regular season because they take such bad shots. In the playoffs, they slow it down. They take better shots because all the possessions matter, but they just waste so many possessions by these wild step back threes that it becomes unwatchable.
I guess like everyone's so skilled that they're just like trying to put on these highlight reels,
right?
Just like kind of relax, you know, go tween, step back. But
exactly. And then Paul said, yeah, they're a sneaky team this year. Paul, I think you're talking about the Heat, maybe, but let me know who you're talking about because I think when you posted that, we were talking about the Heat. But yeah, the Heat. If you're talking about the Heat, I think they're sneaky. And definitely would not sleep on them because Spoelstra is an amazing coach. And then back to my man Aaron, you met Buster Douglas randomly in the crowd at a wrestling show, man, in 2002. That's wild. Yeah, man. Buster Douglas, the first one to beat Mike Tyson. And that shocked everybody. I believe that was in Tokyo. That shocked everybody. And then, the Heat. Yeah, Paul. Okay, yeah, Heat are sneaky team for sure. And then Kip has a question for us, and I think we may have some Detroit fan watching this. So this is a great question. You said, what do we think Detroit should do to stop rebuilding every season? Oh my goodness. Ooh, that's a tough one, man. I'm gonna let you take this one, man. Do you have any thoughts off top on what can Detroit do so they don't have to rebuild every
season?
The
good thing, the one piece of good news that they don't have the worst record in the NBA anymore. The Washington Wizards.
Really?
They got, but then and they've been eliminated from playoff contention, just so everybody knows.
Okay.
But the Pistons still have a chance if they win out the rest of the year and everyone else loses out. They can make the playoffs.
Okay, yeah. Run and put money on that one. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, the Pistons, they have Cade Cunningham. He's been playing good. That's about been the only bright spot for him. But
okay.
What they're gonna have these number one picks. So if they keep getting those guys and then rebuild, they might have to go. But actually, I was about to say they could go OKC route, but they don't really have the assets to do that.
They don't have the draft picks.
No, because OKC traded Paul George and then got a bunch of other draft picks somehow, and then now they're good.
Yeah,
I don't think that they're able to have the same trade capital.
Well, okay, so Kip, one thing Detroit can do is they have to have a masterful GM. So they need to back up the Brinks truck and go try to get OKC's GM. It's probably the number one thing they can do because I can't think of his name. I used to know it. I can't think of his name, but he's been amazing for years. Now his one blemish, and it was a big one, and this is the OKC GM, was that he got rid of James Harden. So that was the, because he was trying to stay under the salary cap, and they might have been able to get a title off of that. But as far as drafting, the OKC GM is amazing, and he knew how good SGA was going to be and stole them from the Clippers, and he insisted that they put SGA in that Paul George trade because the Clippers wanted to keep him, and he made him put them in there. So
that was genius.
Yeah, that was definitely genius. But yeah, Detroit, they aren't going to get any big time free agents. They're going to have to build from the draft. And Detroit, again, much as I love Detroit, again, they're just not going to be a free agent destination. So they have to build from the draft. They have to hit that out of the park. So and clearly they have not been drafting well. So I would probably get a new GM, get a top GM. And
they need to draft well and since they're just try to get as many draft picks as possible. Like as many first round draft picks as like however you can do it. That's how you do it. Like the Thunder.
Yeah, you have to stop and then use those to then make a big move. Kip also asked us, do we think the next 5 years the Hornets will the Charlotte Hornets be playoff contenders in the next 5 years? This is a good one for you.
Nope. Nope. I mean, Brandon Miller has been playing really good recently. He won a couple of Rookie of the Months, Rookie of the Week awards. And LaMelo Ball is still out. I don't know what's up with him, but I just think LaMelo Ball needs to be in the lineup consistently for them to at least make the playoffs or make the play-in. And that just hasn't happened yet. So they have Seth Curry. They have they traded Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward, but
I agree.
I just think they're trying to rebuild and build through the draft now because they're getting rid of the old people and they're just trying to, which isn't a bad direction. So they might be able to do something someday, but I wouldn't predict it unless LaMelo's in there.
The Hornets have been way too conservative. And again, they're a market kind of similar to Detroit, although, great city. Nobody wants to come to Charlotte. Okay.
Yeah.
Especially someone that doesn't have like Carolina ties. So they have to take a chance. They have to, make some risks. And so what I think they should have done, number one, when LaMelo had all that value, when people still thought, and a lot of people still value him high, but they're starting to realize, okay, this guy's probably going to be injury prone the rest of his career.
Yeah.
They could have gotten a haul for him if they didn't sign him to that max contract. They could have gotten a haul for him because
it was 5 years, 260.
Exactly. So they've totally tanked their future by having him because he's never gonna play consistently, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I also feel that when the New Orleans Pelicans were down on Zion, and a lot of people were down on Zion, I felt that they should have packaged that number 2 pick and they should have gone after Zion this offseason. And I was on record. I said that on our show. Those are the types of moves that Charlotte Hornets that they're going to have to make in order to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I don't see them risking it and making any moves like that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the Sacramento Kings, had De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton at the same time, but then they traded Halliburton to get Sabonis, and then that was a better pairing instead of 2 ball dominant guards. So just maybe make a move like that just to make a big swing.
I agree. So we're gonna get to our swag here. We know some of you've been waiting around for that, so we're gonna get to that. And again, we'll have something every week here, just to keep everything rolling. But hey, Paul, you mentioned. Let me put your post up here. Jamie Jaquez Jr. has been good for you. Yes, definitely has. Now you said us, so you're clearly a Miami Heat fan. Are you local to the area? You have to tell us that because Diego and I are trying to get to Miami. And so, you know what I'm saying? We need to know some people in the area. So let us know if you're in the area so we can come holler at you when we check out a game. So you got to tell us that. All right. Well, hey, we are going to get into the swag here and get on out of here as it's getting late. thank you for the comments. This has been fantastic. Let me show you guys again on April 1st. We have some hot stuff coming out here. We have our whole store launching. So this is more of the, flat brim hat here that we've got coming out soon. So that's a real nice one. Got the Pick 'em Pros on the side. Got the Diego Army. That's a custom one that you'll be able to get there pretty soon on April 1st when our store launches. Got that. We've got the curve. We got the baseball cap here coming out. That'll be coming out on April 1st as well. We'll have the Diego Army hoodies coming out for those that are riding with Diego. So you got to check that out. Then we've got the logo on the back. We've got the bucket hats coming out. So a whole lot of nice swag coming out. Got the pants and everything. So you'll have to definitely check out our store as it launches in a couple of weeks at the end of the month. So we're very excited to launch that. But let's go ahead and get into our swag winners. So we actually have 3 people that are getting gear this time. So this is what let me show you what we got here. So to this week's swag item is this new all black Pick 'em Pros hat done by our man Foul Play. Foul Play is a local clothing line here, and he made these hats up for us. So we've got a bunch of those. So we're giving those away as merch. So the 3 winners of the hat here, we've got number 1. We've got Akeem Dubal 5 on IG. That's your handle, Akeem. You, my friend, are getting this all black Pick 'em Pros hat. So congratulations to you. All right. This is winner number 1. Winner number 2. We've got Jordan Ellis. You, my friend, are getting the all black hat. So congratulations to you. We will we'll DM on IG and we'll find out how we can send this to you. So we'll connect and make sure that we can send that to you. So congratulations to Jordan. And let's see. Okay, Paul, you're in Clayton. All right. Paul's in Clayton. And then last one here, we've got Shivan. My guy Shivan. Now, Shivan won by default because I told Shivan if Carolina won, that Diego was going to have to personally deliver this hat to you at school. So, Shivan, Diego's going to personally hand you this hat. So that's coming to you, my man. All right, congratulations. So those are our winners for this week's swag item. But again, we've got some hot stuff dropping. So check us out on Friday on Instagram. We will announce what the swag item is for next week. You'll have your 3 steps that you'll have to do. And then on next week's show, we'll announce the winner of our swag item next week. So we'll either run the hat back or we may have something else. So we'll let you know about that. All right. Cool. Well, hey, thanks for the comments. This has all been great. Diego, thank you, man, for being a good sport. We enjoyed watching the game, going back and forth. And, they just didn't pull it out. But we'll see what happens in the ACC tournament. What do you think is going to happen in the ACC tournament before we go?
Well, I gotta say Duke's gonna win. So I don't think anyone else in the ACC can mess with us. If we got Carolina again, then we're gonna come up clutch and beat them that time. We can't lose them 3 times in the same season. That's unheard of. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And that'll be in DC, I believe. The ACC tournament in DC. Okay, yeah. It always feels weird when it's in DC. It's like it should be just in Greensboro.
Yeah, took it away from Greensboro.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate the love, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for the love and support from everybody. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your night. Hey, like, subscribe, all of that. Share this with your friends. Let's get the numbers up. Let's really get this thing going so we can do more and more giveaways. Again, as we go in the future, I want some of our giveaways to be like trips. Hey, let's take a trip to go see Miami Heat play the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. And let's see if Paul can win something like that and roll with us. You know what I mean? So let's get these numbers up so we can we can do big things like that and have big giveaways for y'all. All right. Thanks, Kip, man. Thank you for the love. Thank you, everybody. let's put this outro here and get on out. Music from Tavares Jordan, who's going to be joining us real soon. Producer extraordinaire out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. We're keeping it local. All right. We'll see y'all next time. Much love. Thank you so much. Pick 'em pros. Later.
Tavares Jordan.